All right, I'm not going to go over every one of these problems for this set, but I'm going to go over numbers 4 and then number 6. Number 6 being a little bit more tricky. So you should have already tried these. You should just be checking work and seeing how you did. So for the first step is I need to identify my A, B, and C. I know a lot of us are skipping this step because we think that we can just see it. I highly recommend that you write this out because, like I said, later on, we're going to see a lot of things where we need to know these. This becomes really, really important later. So it's just a good habit to start now. So we do that. Then second step, I'm going to draw my diamond and set up my diamond problem. So remember, first term A times C goes in the top, so negative 12 times 1, which is negative 12. That goes in the top. B goes in the bottom, so that's 4. Now I need to figure out two numbers that can multiply together to equal negative 12, add together to get 4. Sometimes you can see that right away. Sometimes you got to break it apart. I'm going to assume that we need to break it apart. So I'm going to write out what are some things that multiply together to get negative 12. Well, we can always start with 1, negative 12 times 1. It also could be 12 times negative 1. Don't forget that that negative can flip places. I think of the number 12 and I think of 6 times 2 as well. Well, it's negative 12, so one of those has to be negative, so negative 6 times 2, or, of course, 6 times negative 2. And then finally, we already got our answer, but the other one you might have came up with first was 4 times 3. So that could be negative 4 times 3 or 4 times negative 3. Well, we're figuring out which one of these add together to get 4. And I think most of us would see 6 and negative 2. 6 minus 2 is 4. So we're going to have 6 and negative 2. Okay. Then we can go ahead and write this into our factored form. So y equals parentheses x plus 6. That's where that 6 goes. And then close our parentheses, and x minus 2 for the second one. Finally, I'm going to use my zero product property. So I take this x plus 6, set it equal to 0. Solve for x. One step, we get x equals negative 6. There's one of my zeros. Finally, I do the same thing here. X minus 2 equals 0. We're going to add 2 to both sides, so we get x equals 2. So there you go. Let's go ahead and try the same thing for the other one. So again, I'm going to identify my A, B, and C. So everything always starts the same. There is a tricky part about this diamond problem that we're going to go over in a second, though. So A equals 1, B equals negative 12, and whoops, or B twice, and C equals 27. Okay, so now I go to my diamond problem. Okay, A times C, so 1 times 27 would be 27. B, negative 12, goes in the bottom. Now, this is a weird thing because I need two numbers that multiply together to get a positive number, but add together to get a negative number. Whenever you see this pattern right here, basically where the negative is on the bottom and the top is positive, only a positive times a positive could give you a positive number, or a negative times a negative. But you can't ever add two positive numbers to get a negative number. That doesn't make any sense. So off the bat, I know that both of these numbers are going to be negative. So that's the trick to these types of problems, is you can have it where both of these are negative. So I know it's going to be two negative numbers. So what two negative numbers might multiply together to get 27? Well, luckily, there's only two combinations. It could either be negative 27 and 1, sorry, negative 27 and negative 1, or negative 9 and negative 3. Well, only one of those adds together to get negative 12. That would be our negative 9 and our negative 3. So a weird little thing that happens with that one. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and write our factored form. Y equals parentheses x minus 9, parentheses, then another set, x minus 3. And then finish this up with our zero product property. So we'll take x minus 9 equals 0, add 9 to both sides, and we get x equals 9. And then do the same thing, x minus 3 equals 0, plus 3 to both sides, you get x equals 3.